Hello little cuties and welcome to my channel, Fixin' to Hillbilly. Today we're going to be making a cute little Halloween wreath that says welcome to my haunted home. Now you're going to need this multicolored, you're just going to need two colors of mesh. I've chose a multicolored mesh and a black mesh. Now I'm going to need 12 of the multicolor cut in 10 inches. And on the black, I'm going to need 6 of those cut in 10 inches. And you're going to need a roll of ribbon. And that's just any ribbon of your choice. And I've chosen an 8-inch frame. Now I'm going to start with the multicolor one piece of mesh. And I'm going to I need to hold that other end down because it is folding up on me. And it's a little bit messy. It keeps putting a lot of stuff on my table, but that's why you see me keep wiping it off. I don't like it when things are out of sorts. So I fold that up and then I just walk it up the middle. Now this is the multicolored mesh. Now as you know, I always go from the outside and I go A, B, and C. C is your enter. This is going to go on A and B. Now we're going to rotate these back and forth so we get full coverage. And then once you have that attached, you're just going to flip that around to the back so that you can cut that off. Now I am using zip ties today instead of the pipe cleaners. You can absolutely use pipe cleaners on this. That's more than fine. Now I just roll up a couple pieces, or a couple inches on the end, or about an inch rather, a couple folds, and then I'm going to walk it up. And that's just going to hide some of that fray. Now, this one is going to go on B and C because we're going to start rotating those back and forth. And we're going to do 2 of the multicolor and then 1 of the black. That's why you needed more of the multicolor. So you're just going to tighten that down. And then just flip that zip tie to the back because you're just going to go in there and clip it off. And then I have the black. So I'm going to fold it over a couple times. And then this one I actually went ahead and walked up the middle, but I still folded over the other end. Now this is super easy because what we're going to do here is 2 of the multicolor, then 1 of the black. Now this one's going back on A and B. Because remember, we're going back and forth, back and forth. That way we get full coverage. So we're going to do the black. And the reason it's so easy because you do 2 multicolor, 1 black, 2 multicolor, 1 black. And I'm not putting ribbons in this one simply because I'm trying to make it a little bit easier. Now, most people ask me why I don't use all Dollar Tree mesh. I had a couple people ask me that. And I do sometimes, but honestly, if you think about it, if you go to Amazon and you buy 4 rolls of mesh and you give $14 for it, okay, you're actually given maybe about $3.50 a roll, but this is 10 inches wide and it's 30 feet long, or 30 yards long, sorry about that. And so you know, you get quite a bit of mesh there. It's, wait a minute, it's 10 yards, yeah, 10 yards, 30 feet. So you're getting 10 yards of mesh and it's better quality. And you can absolutely use the Dollar Tree, and I do use it, but this, the Dollar Tree, if I remember right, it's 6 feet long, and I know it's only 6 inches wide, like 5.11 inches wide or something like that. So if you have to use 3 rolls of that, or 4, you know, to get the coverage that you're going to get in probably a half a row of this. And then after you do the black, you're going to go back to the multicolor. You're going to roll up the end just a couple times. It don't have to be a lot. And then just walk it up the middle. And as you see, I just keep wiping here. That I like that. It's so pretty, and it's worth it because in the end, you get a really beautiful wreath. But it is messy because when you cut it, you have that everywhere, and it just seems to keep dropping little pieces. It doesn't do that. Doesn't seem to do that with the solid colors, but that multicolor with that special kind of ribbon running up through it, it definitely does it every time. Then I just push that up, and then I'm going to do black again. We'll go ahead and clip those off. Now once you do the black, as I said, you go 2 multicolor, 1 black. 2 multicolor, 1 black. So we're going to do that. I'm going to go ahead and finish the frame off so you don't have to sit there through that. And if you want me to, just let me know. If you want me to start recording them, I usually, when I do the full video, I do put music in there so you can listen to it and watch me do the full video, which is fine. I don't mind doing it because either way I still have to do it. Okay, and now I'm back, and that's what the finished product looks like. Now my color on my video is a little bit different. I am sorry about that. What happened was the other was filmed in the day, and I had a family crisis, so I had to call and see what was going on, and I didn't get back until the evening, and the light was different in here in my crafting room. So we guess we need to get some lighting. Okay, so now I'm starting the bow, and as you see, I run a tail through. I go through, I put a hoop, and then I'm going to flip it over. Remember, we flip it over to the not so pretty side so that everything is straight up when you finish. Then I'm going to flip it over to the not so pretty side, and I'm going to run this back through. Now this is the only ribbon that I have in this particular wreath because I'm trying to make it a little bit simpler for new crafters. And that Deco mesh, the style that I used, was very easy. You can definitely use the Dollar Tree mesh with that and do the same thing. You just cut it in 10 inches, even though it's shorter. But keep in mind, your wreath is going to be smaller in dimension. It's not going to be out about 15 inches because you're using smaller mesh. Now I decided to use this purple mesh tubing because I had some of that left, and I'm going to put some purple in this particular wreath. So I just did a couple hoops just like I would with my ribbon, and it's going to lay there. You don't twist it or anything because it's the same all sides. Now I put, I think, I put 2 hoops there, and then just cut the end off. Just press that down. Now when I lift that out, I'm going to put a zip tie on the back because that's going to make it easier when I'm going to hook it to the frame now, so that we don't have to, try to fight all that, holding all that, and then hooking it to the frame at the same time. So I just put that on and tighten it down. Now I went ahead and put that on the frame, and as you know, I just run the zip tie through and put it on the frame. Now this is just a little sign. I think I got 2 of those together. There was an orange one and a purple one together. They're smaller, but these are really good for these smaller frames. So I just put me a little zip tie on there. And then I'm just going to run the whole thing. What I did is I went ahead and moved my mesh around, and then I put it back over that little wire, and I run the whole thing to the back, because then once you got both pieces in the back, once you flip it over, then you can hook it to the frame a lot easier. Okay, I was hoping you could see that a little bit better, but it doesn't look like, well, there we go. Okay, so now that I got both pieces in the back, now I can hook it to my frame. And then I'll work with it, you know, when I flip it back over, adjusting it. You can use a little bit of hot glue to hold those signs into place if you want to. I don't usually, because I just put the Deco mesh around it, and it usually holds it pretty snug. But if you want to put a drop of hot glue here and there, that's absolutely all right too. And if you have a bow there, just make sure you're pulling your bow out from behind your sign. You don't want that, you know, covered up. And you can even put the bow below it or above it. Well, if you put it above it, it's going to hang on that little sign. So it's best to put it below it if you want to put it, you know, centered. I just like things kind of, you know, off to the side, and, you know, it just gives it a little bit more, something different. It's not the everyday. Now I'll play with that sign until, you know, I get it the way I want it. I'm going to have to get my bows adjusted around it to hold it in there. And like I said, you can put some hot glue on there to hold it in if you want to. That's not going to hurt a bit. And don't forget to dovetail your ends on your ribbon. Now that that purple ribbon, I just cut it at an angle. And you might need to put a little something on the end of that. I usually take a little bit of spray glue and spray on the ends of those, because if not, they might start fraying, and they do that sometimes. Now I'm just putting these where I'm going to put them, then I'll go back and hot glue to them. I chose not to use that black one because I decided to put a couple spiders in there, because I had a you know, spider web ribbon, so I thought that might be a little bit more interesting. I'll just put one here and there. You can put 3, you can put 2, how many ever you want. Always, as I say, do it your way. And there's your wreath when we got everything done. So I want to thank y'all for being here with me today, and thank you to all my new subscribers. Don't forget to read their comments, because some of my subscribers have really good ideas of different ways to make what I'm doing a little bit easier. So always read their comments, because they do come up with some really good ideas. But I want to thank you all again for being here. And remember, you were born to do great things. So stay strong in the Lord, never give up hope, and always take time to pray. It's so important. All right, I'll see you next time. Bye.